no! She's definitely having horse withdrawals. Welcome back to All the Stars Sailing Adventures. Join us this week as we set sail from Newport near Brisbane, heading north, a quick stop off at Mooloolaba, then on to Fraser Island. So we've been sailing today from Newport, and that's pretty nice wind, sort of 10 to 15 knots, but it's been a headwind, so it's slowing us down. We're heading in towards Mooloolaba, and we ETA on about 8 o'clock, so it's just about high tide. So that makes entering a new port in the dark a little bit nicer.
We arrived late into Mooloolaba to catch the high tide, and then left early the next day for Double Island Point with little to no breeze.
So here we are at Double Island Point, and we spent the night on the anchor here, and quite a rolling night, very little sleep. The forecasts were completely opposite to what actually happened, and the swell was twice as big as what was forecast. So we're about to pull up anchor, and yeah, we'll make our way across Wide Bay Bar, get out of this rolly swell. Motor sailing across the Wide Bay Bar on high tide was still a hair-raising experience, especially for H, her first time across. What are you doing?
Everything a good airing.
Safely in at Tin Can Bay, the next day we caught up with our friends Peter and Janet in their Cavalier 37. That's good.
As Rach likes to do every time we go ashore, she could hug a tree. But the wildlife may be not so happy to see us.
Follow your nose!
She's definitely having horse withdrawals. Poor girl.
So So from Tin Can Bay, we motor sailed through the Great Sandy Straits. It was a good thing that we had a bit of wind because it helped us with the current along the way, and anchored up at Kingfisher Resort. I've got this dinghying thing sorted. I'm going to send this to Aiden. See if he remembers his thing.
Setting off on foot across the island to Lake Mackenzie, a casual stroll of 21 kilometres, my legs were reminding me of this for days. Wait for me!
Hey, Rach, what do you reckon causes this? You're the tree expert, aren't you? Is it?
The squiggly worm.
Squiggly worm.
That's what I'm focusing on.
We left Harvey Bay with glassy conditions, but we were soon skipping along head to head at about 7 to 8 knots with our fellow cavaliers.
Sailing out of Fraser Island, Rach is on dugong watch.
Yes, I just saw something. Don't know if it was a dugong.
As always, we logged on with the local VMR as we left Bundaberg early in the morning.
Like, old mate's there at 6 o'clock in the morning. He's a volunteer.
Yeah.
Sounds chirpy as anything.
Yeah.
So good.
So Rach is steering the ship this morning. We're sailing away from Bundaberg towards... we're heading... Pancake Creek. And very important part of the day now that the sun's come up. He's making breakfast. So we're just doing a little omelette here, cup of coffee. Make happy sailors. fish. Don't worry. You're winning. First yellowfin?
Yep. Good fun. Very sad.
Sad to have to kill him. What you got there, Rach?
Eat a bread roll.
A little mini bread roll. So we've started making our sourdough. It's first experimentation. Turn the sourdough into little bun size pieces.
And they go fluffier.
Yeah, they're like little dinner rolls. They're a bit easier to manage in the stovetop oven that we use. So yeah, very tasty.
And we're going to walk. There's a beautiful walk up to the lighthouse apparently. Cal said, so we'll blame him if it's not.
You can actually see the lighthouse from here. Top of that hill somewhere.
Totally amazed by the mixture of different plants, and they're also different to what we're used to seeing at home. Got like this huge broadleaf something, but the beautiful fine classic Queensland, really fine leaf eucalypt, palm, wattles. It's just beautiful.
One thing that struck us is there's no recognition or signage saying this is a significant site, whereas you'd expect to find that in New South Wales. So yeah, maybe a bit of a state difference in the way they manage their parks, but there are signs around that say this is national park, everything's protected, but there's no mention of this is an Indigenous site, or no mention actually of any Indigenous history.
The cemetery at the lighthouse portrayed a typical early lighthouse keeper's existence with very young deaths and several drownings. Oh my god, you know what that tree looks like?
What's that?
The tree that the time capsule was buried under in Middle Lake Mystery.
Yeah, it's like a big bloodwood or a swamp mahogany, like you say. It's a great habitat tree. Look at all the hollows in it.
Beautiful.
So as we're coming down this path, we're discovering that there's been some sleepers or wooden slats have been laid into the ground.
They're quite wide too.
They're quite wide, which makes us suspect maybe this was an
old either trolley cart, like supply line, or
down to the
track.
water's edge.
Yeah.
Because
Like
the creek entrance is just down below us there, and maybe ships used to come into this bay, bring produce ashore for the lighthouse. So our dinghy was high and dry on the sand when we first got here this morning. Now this afternoon we got back from the lighthouse walk. As you can see, he's floating. Turtles, clear water, sandy beaches, beautiful. So I'm using a really sharp knife. And downward pressure. I'm just pulling this skin back as I push the knife through. Got most of it there. And now I'm going to cut out the bone in the midline. Cut out the bloodline. Keep all this. So that rib doesn't have any bone left. I've deboned it, taking the rib cage out. So I'm just going to be dicing up this filleted tuna here and adding it into this marinade that I've made up with olive oil and lemon juice. I'll also put a bit of pepper in there. I've added a bit of garlic in there as well. So I'll just let that sit. You might notice we've got a little bit of tuna left there, which I'm going to keep for sashimi. It's too good to eat it all cooked. Just blanched those snow peas and now I'm cooking the pasta. So just letting that tuna sear, pan sear. And then we're going to add the parmesan, the garlic, a little bit of tomato I've got left over there, and some blanched snow peas. And then the pasta, and then we're in business. Look alright.
So good. Oh. Mermaids, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a voice.